Hey, welcome back guys, and today we have another Shoujo Pool video for you guys today, and today we're going to be talking about the banners that are going to be featured after the maintenance. If you guys are watching this now, if you guys are watching this in the future, these banners are going to be currently running, and the first unit we have here is going to be the limited unit Landy with her artifact, which I don't actually have equipped on her right now, but you can see is going to be Wall of Order. Now Landy guys, extremely powerful limited unit. She's very good for PvE. She's one of the top tier damage dealers for PvE, if not the best. And for PvP, she's always a very strong damage dealing unit because of her S3 and her S2 abilities. So if we look very quickly, her S3 is an AoE attack. It gives everyone a speed buff and also CR pushes them. You're also going to see when the fighting spirit is full, you'll actually use this fighting spirit to penetrate the target's defense by 50%. And this skill 3 actually cannot trigger a counter attack, making her very good against counter attacking units. You can also soul burn this for an extra turn, which will make it very good if you look at her S2 and her S1 and how this synergizes. Her S2, it is going to be a passive attack increase after she attacks. It will be 20% attack at max skill enhance, and this will stack up to 3 times, going to 60%, which is crazy. And the secondary effect is going to be at the start of her turn. She will gain 10 fighting spirit for each buff granted to the enemy. And when you're at full fighting spirit, you will reset the cooldown of your S3 and you start at 50 fighting spirit. This basically makes it so that if you actually use your S3 and the enemy team has 10 buffs total or more, you can actually soul burn her S3 to get 2 S3s off, which makes her very powerful. Also, at the start of the battle, you can actually get 2 S3s off if the enemy side has 5 buffs or more, because you do start the battle with 50 fighting spirits, so you can actually S3, soul burn it, and get another S3 off, which will penetrate defense. And keep in mind that the second S3 will actually have that increased attack bonus. Next we have Landy's S1, probably one of the strongest S1s in the game. It hits very hard. It will give you 20 fighting spirit and will also increase your CR by 15%. And actually this fighting spirit and combat readiness push is actually doubled when the enemy is buffed. And in PvP guys, you guys already know there's going to be a ton of buffs on the enemy side all the time. So very valuable. This hits extremely hard. Do not underestimate it. But yeah, this unit is coming out because we do have ML Landy. But honestly, if you do plan to pull for ML Landy and you don't have Landy already, please pull for her and just keep her at least one base copy, because Green Landy guys is super strong. Like, she might even be better than ML Landy. Especially for PvE, she'll be a lot better. She's super powerful. One of the best damage dealers, and in PvP, she's very strong against buff heavy teams. Very good counter to anything that has counter attacks because her S3 ignores them. And also even against like Spectre Tenebria, she can one-shot S with her S3 if she actually stacks this up with her S2 passive. So yeah, very powerful unit. Definitely want to pull for her and keep at least one copy if you don't have her. She's just so strong. I think she is the best limited unit out there for PvE so far in the game. Now for artifact guys, Wall of Order, you're actually going to see I don't have it on Landy because it is not Landy's best artifact actually, if you don't really plan to cleave with her. And this artifact is basically going to be, you have a chance to get greater attack buff with every single buff on the enemy side. And at the end of the turn, you have a chance to get a barrier depending on your attack. So honestly, I think this artifact is not really going to be good on Landy or on a lot of units. You're only going to really use this on like ranges that like to cleave, like Operator Cigarette and Briar, which is Saria, but only if you like to strictly cleave. Otherwise, rangers are mostly going to be on Guiding Light, Cerise's artifact, because super powerful, just gives every ranger a lot of survivability, and survivability is very good for rangers because they are very squishy. So Wall of the Order, I think is going to be, or Wall of Order is going to be a easy skip because you don't really need this. Even though it's unlimited, it's probably one of the worst limited artifacts out there. Next up we have Basar. So Basar is going to be a mage, honestly not really used anywhere in PvE because he's strictly for PvP. And even in PvP, he's pretty off meta because of the fact that he gets countered by like Holiday Euphine and anything with higher speed than him. And as you guys can see, his base speed is pretty low, but he used to be very good because his S3 used to strip all buffs and apply unbuffable with a huge CR decrease, 30%. Usually it's going to be 20% on most units, but we have Basar at 30. And you can actually soul burn this to actually ignore effect resist. And because he's a mage, he can hold Tagal's Ancient Book, making it so that he can supply himself his own souls. The only thing is, yeah, if he doesn't take the first turn, he's pretty useless because you would usually build him on full speed and he's like a one and done unit, and if he survives, you get that S2 off, which can cripple the enemy. But his main strength is in his S3, and keep in mind, because his base speed is at 108, he gets outsped by pretty much anything in the game, even Soul Weavers at this point, so very outdated. I think he's a pretty easy skip because this unit overall is just not that good right now. He is only going to be picked in like the 5th slot for PvP in like World Arena and RTA if the enemy team just drafts like fully slowly. Now his artifact on the other hand, Abyssal Crown, this artifact is super cracked. So anything with AoE skills, Politis, if you're using Bazaar even it's okay. With the Fire Tenebria changes, you can use it on her. Solitaria, just any mage with AoE, this is super good because, yeah, this works on AoE attacks as well. And this artifact is extremely powerful for mages that want to control. If you do not have one copy of this, I would recommend buying this if you also have enough for the Guardian Ice Crystals, which is coming out with the ReZero collab, because that artifact is also very good to buy as well. Now, just to summarize, guys, I think, Bazaar is an easy skip. You definitely want to get his artifact if you have enough of the Powder of Knowledge to actually buy the Guardian Ice Crystal, which is going to be coming with ReZero and with Amelia's banner. So you're definitely going to want to prioritize that first. It's just super strong. I'll show you guys right now. Like this artifact, I think it's on my Destina actually, if I don't. Yeah, here we go. This artifact's super good. You definitely want to prioritize this first, which is coming out with ReZero. Otherwise, if you have enough for Abyssal Crown, you want to buy that after. It is pretty good if you like to play like Politis and just like control style. For Landy guys, definitely want to pull. For Landy guys, you definitely want to pull for her. She is a must-have. I think she's better than all the collab, Guilty Gear, and ReZero units combined. So you definitely want to make sure you get Landy before them. Then after that, you can decide what you want to do with your bookmarks. And for Artifact, Wall of Order, definitely needs to skip. Not really worth it. It's not that great in an artifact. Where was it again? It was like somewhere here. Yeah, not that great, right? Only gonna be used in like certain rangers that like to cleave. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, though, guys. Just wanted to let you know you guys should prioritize. Basically, the collab coming out, the units, although they're limited and they're from like different games and animes and whatnot, even though they might seem very enticing to pull for, I think Landy is definitely 100% going to be the option that you want to pull for first. Once you do have Landy, you can decide on the other units as you will, but I think Landy is 100% going to be the highest priority. And for the artifact, guys, after you get Amelia's artifact, which I have on my Destina here, Guardian Ice Crystal, you can think about getting Abyssal Crown, which is going to be on Bazaar's banner with your Powder of Knowledge. Honestly, I think Guardian Ice Crystal is also an artifact worth chasing with your bookmarks, and even Landy, like dupes of Landy, although they're very good on her, you might want them for Navy Captain Landy as well, depending on how she ends up turning out, which I'll have a video on in the future once I pull for her, because I do have a lot of my mystics pulled up. So I will definitely be trying to pull for as we have 6,300. So yeah, that being said, pretty much it for this video though, guys. Just wanted to let you know what you guys should be doing for the future banners. And as always, if you guys found this helpful, consider leaving a like and also subscribing if you aren't already. And I'll see you guys next time.